Good morning, everybody. This is Jeff at the Growers Uncertainty, and it is the 5th of July. 5th of July. Right, to save you any time, there's no bet today. There is no bet. So if you want to just tootle off and do something else, you can do. The reason for that is very, very tight at the top. Do you remember with Buddy's Beauty? It was quite a few points clear. I think it was 30 points clear or something like that of its rivals. So what the system does is I rate the horses using the system. And then, so if you've got one that is 30 points clear of its rivals, well, then it obviously stands a very, very good chance. That's why our maximum bets do so well. I think we've had, I can't remember now. I should have done the research. I think it's 3 out of 4 or 3 out of 5 winners and 1 second by a nostril. But so when you've got a situation when you have like today, I'm tempted not to mention the horses' names, but I was looking at, I looked at quite a few, but I was in particular the Bath 6 o'clock race. Now in that particular race, I was trying to find some value, but it's unfortunate I just couldn't find it. So remember the 30-point clear rule. So if it's 20 or 25 to 30 points clear, it stands a very, very good chance. So when you get in that 6 o'clock race, I'm staring down the barrel of 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 horses, all within 3 points. And they are primarily at the top of the market. Now, what can happen is with those 4, you can look at it a couple of ways. One, you could have a go at a TriCast or and mix it up that way. But what you do find is if you look at the lower rated horses, which flies in the face of the system, because what happens is you then tilt towards the way a race is run. So if you've got 4 that are really, really tight together, you usually find, I don't like to use the term pace collapse, but sometimes you do see a pace collapse, or a falsely run race. Now this opens the door for the horses outside of the 30-point rule on the system. So if you get lots of horses that, or a few horses in this race, there are 1, 2, 3 horses where there are serious question marks about them. It does open the door to them for some reason. But even in that situation, I still couldn't find value in a place market to back up a win bet. But they were so tight at the head of the market, or the head of the system rather, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's better just to shelve it. Now, I had a question before from Kevin about big fields. I prefer, you'll notice I do like big fields. I do like them because there's a lot of chaff in the wheat, a lot of chaff, and you can find a lot of really, really good value. So if you take the principle of let's call it a pace collapse or falsely run race, it does open the door to bigger priced horses. That's what I find. And that's what happened the other day as well with Fantasy Master. Fantasy Master needed the firmer going. So today it's just a bit of an odd one. It's an odd one. And I don't want to put our money out to that. I really don't. But there's one horse in that race that I will mention. I'm just going to mention this one. And it is the world's worst horse for getting stuck behind other horses and not coming through. And it is one that is outside of the system, outside the 30. And that is Quarter Blue. Quarter Blue in the 6 o'clock. And I'm not putting it up as a bet. I'm just thinking out loud. I don't want everybody, if it wins, it wins. If it places, it places. It's not big enough to get a place. It's not a big enough price to go for a place only. So it'd be a maximum bet on a place. But there's not enough confidence in that. You need to back it up with something else. But it's just one of those. If you read its form, Quarter Blue. and you know exactly what I mean. It always gets stuck. I think it's coming out of store 1 today. But it's always getting stuck behind other horses. And this is a prime example of when it starts to get, when you're going through it and you're checking the horses with the system, and then you're looking at the form. Obviously that's part related to the system, but it becomes murkier and murkier. And the thing is, you can start to feel yourself drowning. And when you start to think there's too many imponderables, leave it. Leave it. If those imponderables can be backed up with a big price, so it's worth having a go, well, yeah, you can have a go, but you just can't do it sometimes. And today is just one of those days you just can't do it. So I spent nearly 6 minutes explaining that. So I hope that is clear. We're taking an early bath on Bath. It's not going to happen. So, but just watch and see how Quarter Blue does, and just have a look back through its form. Have a look. It's like the race, I think. Always gets stuck behind other horses, but it's not a big enough price to have that confidence to go, you know what, bang, I'll have a go on that, on a place, over 3 places. But we can't. I'm just thinking out loud. I know it may think it's another Harry's Hill, but just watch it and see if it can. But if you check its form, you'll see what I mean. That's it from me. I've waffled on for 6.5, nearly 7 minutes. What are you doing? Good luck. I shall speak to you tomorrow, okay? And Quarter Blue, but don't back it. Bye for now.